thrilled with the maturity and the way the group handled the game in a similar way to Delaware State. It's like two of the best players for LIU end up a late scratch, which obviously hurt the competitive nature of the game. But I thought our guys just showed a lot of maturity and the 29 assists and just the way the ball moved and was shared, and at a 45 made baskets, 29 assists. So happy with that. Obviously, it's hard to do like historical things in a place with all this history, right? So to be the sixth team that's been able to get through the non-conference undefeated is it's a great accomplishment for this group. Something they should be proud of, because it's hard to do historic things at a place like this. So proud of what they've done and excited to get to Big East play.
It seems you've been able to really keep your focus this year in every game. What do you credit that to?
Andre Jackson, just his leadership style. It's different, It's just he creates a different type of urgency. Adama as well. Those two men, their daily approach, their work ethic. These guys are, they set a tone in practice, because neither guy ever wants to be subbed out, and each guy is an absolute ruthless competitor, and that runs through your team. When two of your best players, or your two best players with Jordan, are just putting so much pressure on everyone else to show up every day, or else they'll destroy them.
Dan, what kind of strides have you seen Donovan make in some of the finer details of the game, and what challenges await him in the Big East?
Obviously, much closer games, being involved in dogfights, more physical games. I think non-conference games tend to get refereed a little bit softer, and then they kind of let you do beat the hell out of each other in conference games, especially in the Big East and maybe the Big Ten. But when obviously getting in shape, getting in the type of shape that he got himself in, and then we've helped him get in. And just, when you play against Adama Sanogo every day since June, you're going to improve a lot, because he's playing against one of the best players in the country.
Yeah, what's your take on the Big East from what you've seen so far this season? Some saying it's maybe a little bit down, but what's your take from what you've seen?
I think overall it's better. I do, even if whatever the net says, or the Ken Palm, I'm not even sure, because we've been just so kind of focused on just taking care of the non-conference. I do think overall it's much better. I think the bottom is stronger. Obviously, every game in conference play is so difficult, because you know each other so well, and it's one of 20, and it's a grind. So we know that our string of double-digit coasting to victories is about to turn into much different type of games, and we're mentally preparing for that.
Coach, do you think you guys have played your best game yet, or is there better things to come from this group?
No, I don't think we've played our best yet. I think obviously getting Sampson back and healthy, and because he's a very important piece. I think it was great to see Naheem. I think that was big for us today, for Naheem to see the ball go in and to get double figures. I mean, he's an important player for us, because he's been really guarding at a high level, and to see him make some shots, I think is really gonna really add to what we're trying to do. So I just think there's been a carelessness with the ball. I think there's some positions where we've got to play just at a higher level. And I'm obviously not talking about center. So.
Is there anything that you can take away from this type of game versus, maybe a closer game? Is there anything that
Take away from this game?
Yeah,
I would say maturity, because and the message it was like a Delaware State. I think we were +2. We won the second half by 2, and we acted like bozos in the second half of that game. So I think we showed a quality. I think we showed a top quality. We showed a ball movement. We didn't necessarily out talent them. We were in the right spots. The ball was moving. We looked sharp. We obviously, there was a talent discrepancy, but there was also the ball moved and we were in the right spots, and we didn't just overwhelm them just because we were a lot better than them, talent-wise.
You have so many more perimeter shooters this year. How does that change things for you?
I mean, that's Adama and I mean, the efficiency for these players. If you look at Adama gives us the one thing that is so different. A guy you could back to the basket, score one-on-one in the post. He could just jump hook or just go win a low post battle and just go back to the basket. But if you look at a lot of like Donovan's field goals, I think, if you do a study on him, his teammates do just such a great job of finding him in the ball screen game, finding him on dribble penetration. He's getting so much better at posting up and sealing, and he feeds off of assisted baskets, from his teammates, because he has the shooting. The court is open, and he's behind the defense, and it just creates just major problems.
Dan, if I could just go back to Donovan for a moment. Obviously, a guy like that's going to have a chance to shoot a pretty high percentage at a game like this, but he goes 10 for 10, and he also just seems to be in the right position. He throws it well, he catches it well. I just wonder if you could share your thoughts on his overall play.
Yeah, I mean, credit Tim is, a great high school coach. I mean, you knew what you were getting. He met his high school coach. Get him in trouble. In season, he met his high school coach, before school to work out at 6 a.m. Before school started. I was there. I went to when we were recruiting him, we'd go in and watch the workouts. And the first time you saw him play, you said, like, this guy's a natural basketball player, and he's got a feel, hands, feet, vision. Saw him in a South Windsor game get triple teamed in the post, and off a backup dribble away from the triple team, he skipped it to the weak side with his left hand off the dribble. You're like, whoa, this guy understands sports, basketball, feel, skill, and he's alive out there. He's got passion. He loves to play. He's a competitive kid. He's a joy to coach, man. He's like, all the attention that he's getting, and for the way he's played this year too, it's like there's not an ounce of, I mean, I'm sure he loves the dopamine. I mean, they all love it, right? But he doesn't, he's remained very, very coachable, and the best thing about him is he's a pleaser. He wants to please his coaches, and he wants to please his teammates.
Obviously, you had a big size advantage, but was it good to see a little zone? And did you like the way you guys attacked it?
It was good. Where we got to get better versus the zone, though, is like we miss opportunities, to play from the nail or from the wing and get the ball to the short corner or get it to our bigs versus the zone. We're pretty one-dimensional in terms of it being all three-point shooting. Now, the positive thing is we have a lot of shooting, and we can get it to the free throw line and spray it to the line. But we also have to be able to score in the paint versus zone. We're pretty one-dimensional, and that's something that we've really got to work at, because it was frustrating because there were opportunities there we just missed because we're so three-point reliant when the zone comes. And you do have to hurt the other team in the paint versus zone, too. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought I played well out there. I mean, I was really looking forward to this game just to bounce back from, I knew I didn't play well against Oklahoma State or Florida, so I wanted to bounce back and get my confidence going into Big East play, especially next week against Butler.
How you guys going into games like this, where you're heavily favored? How do you able to keep your focus? Because you came right out and there was no let up from the start.
Yeah, I think Coach Hurley really emphasizes to keep our focus, and like by the way he runs practices and stuff, it's always intense, and he'll let us know if we're messing up any plays and stuff. So I think it starts with Coach Hurley, and then us wanting to keep our momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to come in every game with the mindset that, the other team is out there to win too. So we just had to keep fighting from start to finish, play full 40 minutes. And, it's just important to get every win. And this one was really important because, it was for the last non-conference game. So, undefeated non-conference is good.
Donovan, through 11 games, what have you learned about college basketball yourself? What it takes to fit in and really produce at this level?
I mean, number one thing is rebounding. Blocking shots is, was the two biggest things that is going to get me minutes. So, I had 11 rebounds tonight. I could have had a couple more. But, I just rebounding, keeping up with the pace of play, the physicality, those are the biggest things for me.
For any of you guys, you feel like you're ready for the Big East grind now? And also, what have you kind of seen from the league so far? What are you expecting the league to be like this year?
Yeah, we're ready for the Big East Challenge. This is a whole different season. It's the second season. That's what we call it. We got to prepare ourselves. It's way tougher than a non-conference game. So we always got to be prepared. Every road game is going to be hard to win. So we just got to come together to collectively take what we did in the last 11 games and just build on that. So.
Yeah, and what Hawk said, and like what we've seen from the other teams, I mean, they've all been playing super competitive games. Some teams got big, high major wins against other teams. So we know it's going to be a challenge moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, the Big East right now is doing pretty well. We just got to come in with the same mindset that we came in with the first 11 games of, we're going to win this game. We just got to have the same defense throughout the whole Big East play. We just got to keep sharing the ball.
Donovan, you scored 21 points in 15 minutes and didn't miss a shot. How much of that is a testament to, getting in position and your teammates making the right plays?
I mean, yeah, the guards were, doing a good job of driving the ball in the paint. So I just had to get in the right position when my men stepped up, just for the step-in dunks. And, when Naheem shot that shot at the end of the first half, I was just positioning myself because I knew there was a short clock just to be able to, get the rebound and put it back. Just trying to position myself in the best places is important.
For any of you guys, I asked Coach if he thought you guys had played your best game yet, and he said you haven't. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think we have, honestly. Like, they shot, what did they shoot today, like 40% from the field? Yeah, that's not good enough. We had them at 30 for the first half. They got some shots up in the second. I feel like we haven't played a full 40-minute game yet on offense and defensive end. We got to keep the turnovers down, keep having double-digit turnover games. Always win the rebound battle because that's a huge way to win. And clean up the offense. We just got to clean some things up, and I think our game is going to be coming soon. So.
Alex, you've been quiet the last couple games. How big of a confidence boost was this game for you?
Yeah, I think it was big time for me. I mean, to see my first 3 threes fall in, I think that's just only going to help me get going more into the Big East play. And I really needed to see those go through, and I think I'll be good. I'm learning from those struggles too, so I'll be good going into Big East play.
Donovan, you touched on positioning and its importance. Just how much of that comes natural, or how much of that is really a work in progress that will continue? Little things like that, positioning, setting screens. You seem to throw the ball well, catch it well.
I mean, going in practice every day, I was not the best at getting in position when I came here in the summer. But, going against the best big man in the country, Adama is just helps me a lot every day in practice, just trying to get the best position, setting the best ball screens. Because, if I set a good ball screen, it might help me get open. But, it also helps the guard get open, get a good mid-range shot or a three-pointer, to attack the basket. So, just practicing against Adama every day has definitely helped me a lot, for the past couple months.
How much tougher you guys think the Big East games are going to be? You're going to face teams that kind of are familiar with you. And so how do you think that's going to shake out?
Yeah, it'll be tough. I mean, playing them twice a year too is always going to be tough to beat a team 2 times, especially with the caliber of how good Big East teams are. And you know, we've played against these teams for a couple of years now, so they know how Coach Hurley's style is, and they know how we want to play. So they could already form game plans based on previous experiences as well. So it'll be tough, but we're excited for it, and I know we've really wanted to make an emphasis on the Big East this year.
You guys got a little bit of a break coming up now in about 6 days. What kind of do you feel like you can play another game right now, or do you want that rest?
I feel like we have a pretty heavy schedule coming up with the first couple of Big East games. So, you know, I feel like maybe one game this week, but you know, the break's gonna be nice just to prepare for, you know, the upcoming Big East games and Big East play. So, I feel like the break is nice. Yeah, we got exams too. But you know.
I got one more for Donovan, if you don't mind. You and Coach have mentioned the fact that you've worked with and against Adama and how much that has really helped in recent months. What were those early days like when the work began? Were there some eye-opening moments for you, like, all right, this is what it's all about here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my first couple months, you know, in the summer workouts, going one-on-one against Adama was nothing I've ever, you know, experienced before. I mean, with how strong he is and, you know, how he could finish and pump fake and just keep stepping through. You know, he could finish with both hands. It was an eye-opener for me because, you know, there was times where I would jump and block. It was just a pump fake, and, you know, he stepped through, finish it. You know, he's just a strong player. You know, even going against him, you know, being able trying to move him and stuff in practice is just, it's hard, but, you know, it's good for me. Yeah, I'm ready to play against the physicality of the Big East, and I think we're all ready, you know, so it starts next Saturday. Thank you.